now, having conversations with people in our lives, and like it's like they're finally starting to see that this type of thing is happening.
Like it's finally common enough that the media is forced to talk about it, even though we've been screaming about it for years.
And speaking of the media, Dr. Timothy Snyder talks about obeying in advance is one of the things that you see in a fascism. And that's exactly what the newspapers are doing, right? They're worried about some oligarch, whether it's Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or whoever, like they're worried about their relationship with them if they speak their truth, their voice in the form of their editorial articles, which were going to support Harris in the election. And so they didn't. Yes. They chose not to. The Washington Post chose not to support either candidate, which is ridiculous.
Well, I thought Jeff Bezos owned Washington Post.
He does.
Okay. So, I mean, could he just be like, this is my company, fuck you, no?
Yeah, but he also owns Blue Horizon, which wants to get government contracts.
I mean, if we have government contracts with Elon Musk, you really think that they give a fuck about that?
Well, Donald Trump would.
That was very negative.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is crazy.
We're in a world of hurt right now, as the fact that he's a linchpin of our aeronautical program, space program, and it's a big problem. I don't know what to think about that.
Well, okay, let's preface kind of what all we're talking about. Okay, so we said we were talking about the Madison Square Garden. So basically,
one after the other, just spewing the most racist, horrible thing, just crude things that you would never say in public, let alone at a presidential candidate rally. It was just awful. And the initial comedian, what's his name? Tony, I can't remember his last name.
He was so bad.
And I'm sure he was chosen because that's the kind of comedian he is. That's what he does. He punches down. He always has.
Well, the thing is can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. That everything that they talked about or said was pre-screened by the campaign. So you're telling me that everything, all the horrible things that were said were all vetted, and that was what came out okay.
That was okay. Yeah.
Cool.
I didn't confirm the source, but I read that one of the speakers was going to call Kamala Harris a CUNT, and I
did. I read that as well. That was one step too far. But Elon Musk's, his PAC, one of the ads they sent out recently literally says, we don't need a C dash T.
C word, yeah.
Yeah, or C dash word is what it said, in charge or something.
Right.
And what? No one ever, that's not a nice word. That's a really mean word. Especially here. What? The family, the party of family values?
Yeah, can you imagine listening to that with your kid and trying to explain the part about, the people... I can't even remember how they put it. It was so vulgar.
It was really bad.
About people having a lot of kids. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes. Hold on. I do have that, but hold on. Let me read the speaker list here, because I pulled it up. Okay. J.D. Vance, of course, Mike Johnson, Elise Stefanik, Byron Donalds, Tulsi Gabbard, who recently just became a Republican.
Right.
She formally did it. Rudy Giuliani, oh God. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Lara Trump, Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr. Oh my God, there's so many drugs here. Elon Musk, Don Scavino, Stephen Goebbels Miller, Dana White. Did you hear what I did there? Was that good? Okay, thank you. Dana White, Tucker Fucker Carlson. That's what I'm calling him from now on. Brooke Rollins. Who's that? Oh, President and CEO of America First Policy Institute. Oh, God. Steve Witkoff. Sounds annoying. Howard Lutnick, Grant Cardone, Sergio. I don't know who these people are. They're lame. Oh God, David Rem is their childhood friend of former President Trump. Oh my God, they said former President Trump. I'm proud of them.
Hmm.
Okay, so super awesome list right there. Okay, I'm done. But yes, let's see. I did copy and paste a bunch of quotes.
Mm-hmm. And I think the consensus was that this wasn't a rally that was designed to win votes. You know, it was a rally designed to fire up the base for violence, like to repeat a January 6th style situation.
Yeah. I mean, they're recreating a old Nazi rally. Okay.
Yeah.
So the guy that you were talking about, what is this guy's name? But he said, and these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that they do. They do. There's no pulling out. They don't do that. They come inside, just like they did to our country. What? What? That's okay, dehumanizing, and also like that they're taking over, invading. Timothy Schneider is really putting out a lot of content, guys, so you know we're in fucking trouble.
Yeah, so go check it out if you haven't already. He's a expert on this stuff.
One of the few things that Trump and Vance are clearly campaigning on is lawlessness, breaking the rule of law and ignoring the Constitution. Beyond the fundamental issues of the rule of law, Trump and Vance's announced plans spell economic disaster for the United States. Cool. Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. There was another speaker on here that said, we need to slaughter these people about Americans who don't support Trump. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I read that full thing and it sounded like he was...
Oh, Cardone. Cardone.
It was under the guise of like slaughtering in an election, you know, like outvoting so bad, aka slaughtering. But it's a short step from using... It's the important takeaway is the terminology they're using. You know, there's always going to be a guise that they can blame for what they really meant, quote unquote. But just throwing around this language is part of the process. And there was another thing that I found disturbing. There was a clip where Donald Trump said something, he alluded to some secret and in cahoots with Johnson. Like the House has a secret that would be important, you know. I don't know clearly there's something coming up that they're cooking up.
Correct.
We got to get the congressmen elected and we got to get the senators elected because we can take the Senate pretty easily. And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
And also, did you see all those ballot boxes that were caught on fire?
Yeah.
So what do we do about that?
Well, so I wish the media would find out, like, do what the media is supposed to do and ask questions and find out, what did you mean by that secret? What is the House up to? Like, are you planning something illegal in the event that you lose the election again? Are you going to try to interrupt the process again at some level? What are you up to? What are you planning? That's what I want to know.
I mean, he'll fucking tell us. Or actually, he'll lie, or he'll say the Democrats are doing something, and then it's exactly his whole plan. I think I've got it figured out.
That's true. Yeah, he'll project it. And the thing is, like, this is horrible enough in itself, but he's so stupid. Like, if he had any chill at all, he'd keep his mouth shut so that people couldn't anticipate what they were doing and try to get ahead of it. But he just won't shut up, which is, I guess, good for the rest of us. But I hope the media asks questions and we find out what the hell's going on.
I mean, I feel like our government has got to know.
Right? I mean, you're telling me okay, let's back up a little bit. Part of the reason that the government gathered information on some of these folks, like people in the Trump campaign orbit, say, back in the day, you know, during the election, was because our intelligence services were monitoring foreign actors that they knew were up to no good. And they're doing this legally, right? That's what they do. And these guys came into their orbit, right? They were interacting with shady individuals. That's how they got on the radar. It wasn't like our government went and just followed them because they were the point of interest. That's not how it happened. But now that they're kind of, implicated in this, whatever this criming is that's happening, the reason they're watching these other people to begin with, yeah, now they're going to be on the radar too. So you can't tell me that with all the back channel phone calls to Putin and whatever Elon Musk is up to, that our intelligence services don't have a good idea what these idiots are up to. Maybe someday we'll know too.
Right. Well, I wonder how much they know, but they can't do anything about, just like how the media can't say anything because they're scared.
Well,
Are we
I
there?
guess we're at a point in time that if they want to, continue on this American experiment and exist independently and not under Donald Trump's rule, they better effing figure it out. You know what I mean? Now's the time. Go ahead and do it. Whatever it is.
Is it
Bend a rule.
But
I don't know.
Well, are we slowly finding out that enough people are on the bad side? That
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't think they're malevolent people. I think a lot of people just aren't as concerned as we are about where we're at. Just like the conversation that you were having today. A person acted like they had no idea this was really a problem. Like
intelligent humans.
Yeah.
Like professional intelligent humans, and I understand not being intelligent humans that read nonfiction books. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, okay, literally just Google Nazi rally yesterday. Yeah. That's where we're fucking at.
It's not hard to find. Yeah.
And
well, and 8 years ago, if you'd said something and compared some of these folks to Nazi individuals, they'd be like, yeah, right, whatever. You're being hyperbolic. You're exaggerating. No, they're literally making yard signs that have his own little brand of swastika on it.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
guys,
literally.
I'm gonna put it in the in the notes.
Yeah.
In the notes, because it's it was kind of like at CPAC a couple years ago, remember?
Yeah.
Or was it?
Yes.
And when they had the swastika that was the shape of the stage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was when I first, right. I was always been kind of like that, but that's when it really started getting deep.
So yeah, we haven't gotten to any Missouri news yet, but it's just, there was a Nazi rally yesterday and it's a lot to unpack.
No, and I really go and with my regular I have to do my regular daily everything, take care of other humans, work, take care of myself, and be calm enough and not be a bitch.
Yeah, well, we have to do that because
internally thinking about Nazi rallies and is my life going to, and it sounds so dramatic, but is my life going to change in how many days?
Yeah. Well, and that's a point you were making before we pressed record, was that, because of how these issues have affected women and people that we love, we feel the pinch already. We feel encroached upon, they're treading on us, ironically. But it feels like lots of guys haven't had a reason to feel that way yet.
Yeah. Well, and it was because we were having a conversation. I asked somebody if they thought that our institutions could fall, and they're like, no, no, I don't think they could. I'm
right.
They haven't fall, they're already failing and falling for women, and you just haven't had, as a white male, live,
Mm-hmm. But over time it affects everyone. Right. It's just a matter of when.
Right. Nobody is immune.
Right.
That's kind of like Mark Robinson, North Carolina lieutenant governor, the black guy who said he'd have slaves if he could.
Mm-hmm.
What? Excuse me, sir?
Excuse me, sir. Yes.
He's a dirty dog. Okay. What else do we have to cover that's a little more lighthearted? No more Nazis. I can't believe I'm also saying this. Okay. Should we talk about Missouri a little bit?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, guys. I really, 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 fingers crossed, I do think Amendment 3 is going to pass.
I sure hope so.
But I feel like that is one tiny part of the battle.
Right.
Because just like we've always said, all the Republicans on the ticket have literally already been like, we will not respect a yes vote on that. So I'm not sure exactly what that process looks like, but if anything, it was gonna fucking drag it out.
Hey, I have some good news about that.
Okay, tell me.
I came across an article at the Missouri Independent by Anna Sporer. The date was October 24th, been a few days ago. And the title is Missouri GOP Leader Says Legislator Must Respect Outcome If Abortion Amendment Passes.
Say that again.
To recap the title, it says GOP Leader Says Legislature Must Respect the Outcome If Abortion Amendment Passes. And they're talking about State Representative John Patterson, a Lee's Summit Republican, expected to become House Speaker when the legislature returns in January, says he doesn't support the proposal to enshrine abortion in the Constitution, which will appear in the November 5th ballot as Amendment 3. But if it wins, he says, the legislature should respect the voters' decision. It will be the law of the land, he said Wednesday evening, and we have to go forward as the people decide. So I thought that was refreshing.
Well, okay, so even if it goes through that, does the governor have to sign it?
I don't think, no, because it's not a bill. It's a...
Okay.
Yeah.
Then why was Mike Kehoe all talking about, like, I won't respect it? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would
I'm sure there's a lot of ways they can muddy the water, but, I don't know.
What about Andrew Bailey? Can he do anything stinky?
He'll probably file a suit that'll lose, but if history repeats itself.
Oh, God. It does seem to be on repeat for him. Let's see.
Yeah.
He's actually in the news. Let's see.
Oh, dear.
We had talked about how there are people that are exonerated, right? Court upholds freedom for woman whose conviction was overturned after 43 years. Andrew Bailey was just like dragging his feet, like, nah, I don't think so. And the court finally was like, no, dude, you have to.
Yeah. Yeah, I read there was that, I think his point was that she had also committed crimes while incarcerated that she was supposed to be, locked up for.
She was wrongly fucking incarcerated.
I know. Right.
Like, you owe her 43 years, bitch.
Right.
You owe me, like, the past how many years and some copays for therapy, sir.
Okay. That's great.
So, basically, I'm just going to be honest. I'm finding myself very melancholy.
Yeah, it's hard not to be. But let's look at the bright side. Like, the Harris campaign has all the momentum right now. They got lots of money. They've got a good ground game. Where, she's campaigning in places like Texas, where historically Texas is very red. There's just a lot of there's some really positive things going on. And are they going to try to, commit shenanigans if they lose? They be in the Republicans probably. But all we can do is, keep doing what we're doing and keep our heads up.
I just really like a clean to-do list, and it just keeps piling up.
Yeah.
Can we all just not light fucking ballot boxes on fire and shit? Like, chill out.
Yeah.
Arson.
Terror. Yeah. What Tina's talking about is there have been a couple of episodes in the news where people have, set voting, the ballot boxes literally on fire. So they've damaged the ballots. And now they have to figure out whose ballots were in there and try to get them replaced. And it's just, our system is designed for people to cooperate. And right now they're just like, that's because this is it. This is where all the stupid stuff, the stupid shit that these guys do and say, it incites people to do things like pull up a ballot box, and if enough people do that, we've got a real problem. So that's why these folks need to be peacefully and not forcefully, peacefully and completely shut down with this rhetoric. That's why.
Because that's not who we are. You have freedom of speech, but that is like terrorism.
Yeah, you can't incite violence. You can't.
Yeah, you can't. People come with that argument a lot, and I'm like, I don't think that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but okay, well.
So we've got some positives to hang on to, though. Think where we could be right now with we could be in a place where Uncle Joe Biden is tripping around on a stage and, messing up his words and
sitting
having
on
a hell of a
truck
time.
On Fox News.
He could be doing all that while he's trying to run the country and keep World War III from breaking out in the Middle East. But no, that's not where we are. We are in a better place.
Did you see he apologized to
the indigenous Americans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did. That was
he called it. Was it Native American? Indigenous?
I don't remember what words he used, but he apologized. It was all regions like Alaska and Hawaii and all around. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He is like the peace, settling our, I don't want to say sins, but our past bads, apologizing for us. Like, why is he being so nice? Like, we're all dicks.
Yeah.
We're mean to him.
And for people that would say, well, what good does it do for us to apologize because we didn't do anything? We weren't even alive then. No, we weren't. But a lot of damage was done, and we can acknowledge the changes through time that came from that and try to set things right the best we can now. That's a valid effort.
Generational trauma and affirmative action type things. It's not like they're getting an unfair advantage. Like, we've been getting a unfair advantage our whole lives, essentially, because of what we did not have to go through with generational trauma. Not that we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
But
I mean, everybody's got their own challenges and their own trauma to overcome in life, but having your ancestors' land taken away because of those reasons wasn't one of them, for instance.
Yeah. Oh, this is another good thing I wanted to say before we get off here. More than 150 clergy and faith leaders from across Missouri are now publicly endorsing Amendment 3, which would end Missouri's abortion ban and protect reproductive freedom. This is from Missourians for Constitutional Freedom. So, all those people, all those women and men that are religious and they do not support abortion, but they know, so they're fighting that fight in their head.
Yeah.
You guys can show them this and be like,
right.
Not every single church leader or whatever believes one way or the other. So there's no way, so you can do this with a clear conscience. If you
Absolutely.
need to.
Yeah. And again, that just shows that nobody loves abortion. Nobody's pro-abortion. Abortion's amazing. It's but what we are for is minimizing suffering. And, when we live in a place where abortion is illegal, the amount of suffering that happens is just overwhelming. We can't go there. We already are. We can't do that. Just I don't know if you guys saw it, but we had Dr. Gil Wilshire on, and that was just a great conversation about really in the minutia about some of the decisions that have to be made for women, and it's just not something you can legislate. You can't.
Well, I feel like as a collective, we're all learning everything is gray area, people.
Right.
I know it's hard for a lot of people's brains, okay?
Yeah.
But it's an abstract place, motherfuckers.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to be back in once or twice before the election. So let's wrap it up tonight, and then we'll try to rally ourselves before the big day later in the week.
Well, not Nazi rally. Not Nazi rally ourselves, okay?
Right.
Put your swastika away.
Oh, shit. I can't believe believe it. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have a great week. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. And we'll be back with more next time on the While We Still Can podcast. Bye.
Bye.